So we've made a lot of videos on how new construction is actually a better deal right now than a pre-owned home. And today we're going to add another layer to that, and we are going to talk about spot lot builds. And if you haven't learned what a spot lot build is when a new construction home is built on a random lot. So right now, most new construction homes are built in HOA and CDD communities. So in these communities, they're master plan communities. They usually have amenities. They usually have some sort of fee or association required with them that upkeep certain grounds and aesthetics. So these are these big communities that you see in Florida, and a lot of the new construction homes are typically built there. But there is another thing out there called a spot lot, and today that's what we're going to focus on. So welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name is Andre. I'm a local real estate agent here in the Spring Hill, Brooksville area, and I am on your side when it comes to trying to find the best deals possible in real estate. And right now, that is new construction, okay? So I have been touring a lot of new construction builders trying to get the best deal possible. And one of the things that has caught my attention is these spot lot builds. And they're all over Spring Hill and Brooksville. And so here's what that is. So the builder will buy a piece of property anywhere where they feel is an appropriate place to buy it. And then they're going to build a home on that lot. And that home then goes up for sale. So these are spread out all over Hernando County. So you'd have to know which builder you want to go with and what they have going on and what's going to get built. And that's where I can help too, because I actually have the list of all of the builds that are happening and when they're becoming due. And so what I would do is I would just go and see what you're looking for, find the builder, find the right plan, find the right closing date, and coordinate all of those activities so that you can get the best deal possible, because there are a lot of incentives. So on this spot lot process, so they're typically done on, in certain areas, you can get up to a half an acre lot, maybe something like a quarter of an acre lot. Sometimes they're on well, sometimes they're on septic, sometimes they're on city water and city sewer. So those are things that you'd have to kind of think about and know. But right now, you can get spot lot builds anywhere from the low 280s all the way to $400,000 or $500,000, depending on what you want. But there are some great deals right now in the $280,000 to $330,000 range. And here are some of the things that are being offered. So right now, there are certain builders that will buy your interest rate down into about 5.99%. So when you're looking at a mortgage calculator, and I'm going to put the comparison on the screen, it's about a $300 a month saving if you're putting 3.5% down on an FHA loan. So these spot lots are new construction builds with all of the upgrades that you would expect in a construction. Now, here is something to know about these spot lot builders. They are not going to allow you to make changes. So whatever the build is on that lot, it is what they're going to put in, because for supply chain issues, it just makes it more practical for them to know their supply chain and what's going on. So let's walk through this, right? So you have a new build coming up. Let's just say the price is $300,000. You're putting 3.5% down. The builder may be even offering a credit on closing costs or an interest rate buy down, or both. So there are scenarios where both is happening. And I've seen as much as $25,000 going to interest rates. Interest rate buy downs. I've also seen up to $20,000 going towards closing costs and $8,000 in flex, along with an interest rate buy down. So there's a tremendous amount of mix and match opportunities for it. But here's the thing that's most interesting. Right now, we've done a study, and the price per square foot on a new build is about $188 a square foot. The price on a resale is about $200 a square foot. So there has never been a time where buying a new construction would make the most sense. Now, let's talk a little bit about the buying process of a new construction home, because it is a little bit different than buying a resale. So in a new construction home, you're going to need to be pre-qualified through predominantly their lender, because the incentives that they're going to provide are going to be mostly through their lender and their affiliated network. So if you were to use their lender, you will get the deals that they're talking about. You also have to close within the time frame of the deal. So those are two caveats. The next thing is that the builder contract is very, very different than the Florida, what we call the as-is contract. So this is the standard real estate contract that everybody would use. New construction builders do not use that. The new construction contract, it is very much in favor of the builder. So the builder is heavily, heavily favored in this contract, where in the Florida contract, the buyer is more favored. Now, here's what you're trading when it comes to new construction. Now, most new construction is going to have some sort of 1-year warranty, a structural warranty. Everything in the house is going to be warranted to make sure that it is up to the standard and going and, a quality build, okay? So what you get is a new roof, new appliances, upgraded or up-to-date appliances, up-to-date countertops with what's latest, either it's a quartz or a granite. You're going to have higher ceilings, maybe 8 or 9, sometimes even 10-foot ceilings, depending on the builder. So there's a lot of different things that are going to come with a new construction build. Now, the one thing that you may have to think about is if for those people who are out there looking for a pool, you are not going to be able to add a pool into your loan. You're going to have to do some sort of alternative financing for that, some sort of second mortgage or anything that would allow you to build a pool, or the pool can come later. But here's the reality of why new construction is so appealing. New construction homes are brand new. So a lot of the issues that you would see on an inspection when buying a resale are just not going to exist in a new home. And let me tell you, when you're buying a resale, there's always going to be something that comes up on the inspection. Some of it's going to be minor, other things are going to be major. It's just the name of the game. It's how it works. The inspector is actually on your side as the buyer, and they're going to identify as many of the things as they can in order to make sure that you are making a wise purchasing decision. And that's when we go back to the seller and try to negotiate some of those things, the bigger ticket items, depending on the purchase price and seller credits and all that. But you get to bypass almost all of that on new construction. The seller credit is already established. The incentives are already established. There's more than likely you won't need to do an inspection, even though you should do one just to be sure. But the reality is you can make that decision for yourself. But you won't have to worry about those issues that were going to come in a resale. Now, will appraisal have issues? You don't know on a spot lot, but these builders have been around for a long time, so they have it all figured out. So they're not going to put out something that wouldn't be able to appraise so that the person couldn't get a loan. So although I can't guarantee that it won't be anything with an appraisal, I would say it's more than likely the builder has done a due diligence part to make sure that that property is where it needs to be for the community that it's in. So when you're comparing whether you should buy a resale or a new construction, I think right now the hands-on favorite is new construction. Now, when you're looking at new construction and looking at apples to apples, you have to decide whether you want to be in an HOA community, whereas a master plan community, maybe it has some amenities, or you don't like HOA communities at all and you prefer to be able to do whatever you want on your property, but you don't have any of those amenities. And so these two options exist for you in the new construction landscape. And so what I like to do is I just like to have conversations with people to just go over what they're looking for, see what kind of floor plan, what kind of amount of rooms, square footage, location, builder preferences, interior preferences, ability to upgrade, not upgrade. Those are all things that you're going to want to have a conversation with about. And it's a bit intimidating to be able to go to all of these builders, some of which you may not even know exist. And that's why I come alongside you. It is really no cost to you to work with someone like me to be able to help you figure out what it is that you're trying to do. So if that sounds appealing to you, I'm going to put my contact information on the screen. If you go into the description of this video, you're going to find a link to my Calendly, and that will let you book a conversation with me. There's never going to be an obligation or a pressure to do anything that you don't want to do. That's just not how I roll. I just want to come alongside you and say, look, it would be great if you knew all of these different nuances, so that way when it comes time to actually make a purchase, that we're partners in this and I'm building a relationship with you for the long term, okay, for years. And that's what I want to build with the people that I work with. I want the relationship to be for the long term and not just a simple transaction. So if that's something that appeals to you, there's nothing holding you back from reaching out to me and just saying, hey, or drop a comment in here and we can start a chat somewhere. It doesn't really matter how we get connected, but I would love to connect with you and find out what it is that you're trying to do. And I would love to show you irrefutably right now that new construction is a better deal. Irrefutably, new construction right now is a better deal than a resale. And so the more I can say this to everybody, the more I can show you what's going on. We've done study about this. This is a unique time in real estate history, and you have to be taking advantage of it, because I don't know how much longer it's going to last before things start to just balance back out again and new construction comes at a premium over a resale. I just don't know when that's going to be. But until that time comes, I will see you in the next video. I will be here in the community doing my thing, meeting builders, talking to them, getting the update on what they're offering, so that when it comes down to the conversation, that I have all the information that you need. But until then, be blessed, and I will see you in the next video.